Hey team, welcome back to Dukes on Twitch. Back today, without a cam. My green screen is currently down. But yeah, playing some Abzan Maverick. I think it's about time I come back to Mav and see how it's performing. Obviously, I think it's taken a bit of a hit with the popularity of decks like Green White Depths. And also just sometimes a pretty tough time against the Ragavan decks. So yeah, Mav has definitely been on the back foot. Which, you know, I think a lot of people could say it's been on the back foot for a few years now, but it is just a deck that I really enjoy playing. So if that's what I want to get out of Magic, then I am more than happy to see how Maverick is currently performing. And I've gone with Green White Black because I just love the colors. I think having the black splash is pretty cool, especially with Prismatic Ending. But there's definitely, from a competitive perspective, probably a better reason to go for red. Especially with blast effects in the sideboard, and maybe some more reach and things like Bulb, so that's pretty cool. Hey DN Silver, welcome. I've got the Plagues in the sideboard because of decks like Elves. Not playing Reclaimer because I don't have too much of a utility package within my lands. I've definitely seen Reclaimer in the green-white builds where you have a little bit more sort of play around with what you can play in your mana base. If you want to play like the Dark Depths combo, or maybe some more utility lands like Mazavith, which is pretty sweet. But instead of playing Hex Drinker, which was in this list, which I'm not the biggest fan of right now because of things like Prismatic Ending, I am just playing a 5th Mana Dork because a turn 1 Mana Dork for me is where I really want to be. I was actually thinking of Avacyn's Pilgrim as my 5th Mana Dork, because it is a Mana Dork that has a power, which is pretty relevant against Ragavan. But I decided to go for a second Birds because I wanted the flyer. I wanted one that could produce black as well. And that was, yeah, kind of the choice there. I think Mum's great right now. And I think building on that, Mum as just another turn 1 play that if my opponent doesn't have an answer for, can trade with the Ragavan is pretty nice. We're also seeing a lot of 1-for-1 removal, which is pretty good. So that's pretty strong. But yeah, Mum's been really impressive. I've been playing a lot of Death and Taxes, and obviously there it's quite nice, but I think in Maverick as well, it's just really nice to be able to stretch my opponent's ability to deal with my creatures by having to have that sort of 2 pieces of interaction, one for Mum and then one for the other creature, or one for the other creature, one for Mum. So yeah, I think Mum's been pretty nice. Prismatic Endings, I did have 3 in the main deck, but I wanted to cut down and add another green creature to the Green Suns package, so I've just added an ending to the sideboard to have some removal to bring in against some of the lower creature decks, which is pretty cool. Hey Sido, welcome. Yeah, I've seen Tower of the Magistrate pop up a bit, which is kind of cool. I think if I was playing just the green-white version, I'll probably play it. But for now, I was pretty keen just to dive back into a pretty stock kind of list for the Abzan build. So yeah, hopefully if this does okay, definitely look around some other builds, play some Punishing, or at least some green-white red, play some green-white, which would be really cool. Saga would be pretty interesting as well. But obviously they would also need to have a sort of Saga package as well. But yeah, we'll see how that goes. Let's jump into a league, and hopefully we do okay. Alright, constructed. We are playing a Legacy League with Green White Black Maverick, play points. Nice, nice. We are streaming. Hey people. Whew. No Google, I said people. Come on now. Alright. Up against Matsu. Not really the hand I want. Not really doing anything until turn 3. And have a lot of sort of one-offs in my hand that I want in the deck for Green Suns, rather than having in the blind, which is pretty rough. Yeah, DNT would be rough without some sort of hate. Plague Engineer is obviously quite nice. Torpor Orb also not too bad. That can be pretty tough. Yeah, I didn't have the cam on the deck tech, so just on this one. Leyline's interesting. I do really like having access to endurance instead of Leyline, but I think at the start of these races, I probably wouldn't mind. Yeah, having Leylines, because I feel like at the very start of things, at the start of leagues, we see a lot of Reanimator and decks like that come up, so that's pretty good. Hey Shark, welcome. Hope you're well. 1230 Gaming, I did play Eternal Weekend. I played Green White Depths to a 2-3 drop, and D&T to a 3-4 drop. But had a really good time. I'm going to lead on the Verdant Catacombs, and then probably just go for basics. I'm going to leave the Windswept Heath because it can get either basic. What is your answer to Kaldra Complete? Prismatic Ending, Swords to Plowshares. That's really it. Unfortunately. But I would like something else. I know that Achilles had been playing around with Masked Vandal, which is pretty cool. I do like that. You could have something like Tower of the Magistrate, which is pretty sweet. I think as well, just dealing with Stoneforge as soon as possible as well is probably the cleanest way to deal with Kaldra, but it can be pretty tough. Dragon Rage Channeler, okay. I wonder if they have a Bauble. Dodging the matchup's also a good one. So I guess this is kind of the downside of not leading on the Windswept Heath, is that next turn I can't go basic Plains, play Wasteland, Prismatic Ending, and then Wasteland, which would also stop a dashed Ragavan. So we have a few options here. We can Wasteland the Volk, fetch for a Savannah, Prismatic Ending the Dragon Rage Channeler. We could also go just Thalia off basics, which isn't too bad, because even if it gets dazed, we then hopefully have a Knight that's a 4-4 the following turn. Definitely some interesting thoughts. Going for a Savannah might be pretty tough if they have a Wasteland themselves. I think I'm happy to lead on the Thalia here, but I do want to respect Daze somewhat, so I think I'll actually go for Savannah. Yeah, Savannah Wasteland. I do want to take them off the Volk, especially seeing they led with a creature. Hey L3, finished up 3-2, going down to 8 cast and Green White Depths. Exiling a Brainstorm, that's fine. It's nice, it will be nice, hopefully, to get this Knight down as a 5-5 as well. Eight cast was rough. My opponent played really well with Sai, and just making sure they could play Sai and then get some value out of it before we had something like a Swords to Plowshares. But the ability for them to go wide so quickly was really tough to keep up with. This is fine. I think if I draw another land here, I'd be pretty happy to fetch up Dryad Arbor with this Windswept Heath and trade with the Dragon Rage Channeler. Gut Shot does get me there. See if they play a land first. They play a land, okay. Well, now I'm not so keen to actually do it. Another one's pretty good. 3 cards in hand for my opponent. Fetch land? Plains. That's actually pretty nice, because now we get to go for basics here. Opponent stopping on my draw step. What does that mean? I'm not too sure. Getting Thalia down is pretty huge there. Pretty happy about that. Opponent currently only has 2 cards in the graveyard that are different. Land and instant. Wow, that's huge. Okay. Well, now I'm pretty happy just to Wasteland the Volk, seeing they missed a land drop. They can't stifle either, which is pretty nice. And then probably just passing here. And then hopefully next time we can play the Knight around Days. So really trying to keep them off as much as possible. The big question is, do I want to take out a Dragon Rage Channeler here? And maybe try to bait out a Daze and then untap and play the Knight? Definitely an interesting one. We don't have a great answer to Murktide right now, but to be fair, Murktide isn't the biggest issue either, so I don't mind trying to bait out a Daze here. Wow, okay, they just let it slide, so this Knight is definitely coming down, which is pretty sweet. Nice. Now I'm pretty happy to start attacking as well. A 7/7 Knight is perfect as well because Unholy Heat isn't even an out. Wow, okay. Pretty happy just to beat face here. If they want to like chump block the Knight, that's fine. We have a Source Splash as a backup creature, so just gonna hold up swords and also draw a card with Canopy here. Nice. Don't really have to do anything. Probably won't even show the library. Just hold up sword. Hey Ernby. Haha, no, you're just seeing my background without the green screen. Classic. Open an old boarded Knight. Yeah, some of the artwork is interesting. I will say that for those older cards. Nice. Really nice to get the first game against blue-red. I'm going to assume this is just blue-red. And all I really want is the ending, the endurances, possibly the chokes, possibly 1 or 2 chokes. I don't need the oof. Beast is interesting, but I think we can drop the beast. It's okay as a 4/4, but I'd rather just play a game where I can try to get knights down as big creatures. Second choke could be taken out. I'm going to drop down on libraries as well. As nice as they are, I feel like I always get in a position where they just get a little bit too tough. And also Cradle. I think the blue-red has a really good game against us as keeping us off creatures. So Cradle most of the time is tapping for just 1 anyway. I think I'd play Plague if they had a big creature like Goyf, kind of like Rug Delver. But otherwise, I'm pretty happy just to hold back. Although Dragon Rage Channeler and Delver are both small creatures that are both human, I believe. But of course, once they flip, it's pretty tough. I think I'm happy with this. I really like that Endurance just lines up so well against their creatures. Just see how this goes. Knight of Autumn's always nice as just like a one-off if I need it. Even the 4 life can be brutal against a deck that deals in a lot of 3s. Getting that extra turn can be good. I think this is pretty good. Really want to have a removal piece in my opening hand. Definitely an interesting hand. We have to go 4 jewels to get a white source. We have access to green suns for Dried Arbor early on. We'd have a pretty nice hate piece in choke. This is probably a hand where I'd like my opponent to go like Ponder on turn 1, not so much a creature. Grist is somewhat removal, but not the greatest. Outland Liberator is really nice. But I actually took it out of the board for the 3rd force, because I feel like against the decks where I want that sort of effect, I really want it on turn 0 to 2. But if the metagame slows down and decks like lands show up again, then I could definitely see Outland Liberator coming back into the deck. But for like 8 cast and other decks like that, I really wanted the extra play. I'm going to mulligan this. I'm going to go aggressively mulligan to a 6 with a removal piece, and there we go. Nice. A little bit awkward on the mana, but I think we just drop the Dried Arbor and kind of hope and pray that we draw into another white source. I could potentially drop the 2nd Wasteland, but there's also games where I can just win off the double Wasteland. I don't think relying on the Dried Arbor is effective as a green source, so I am going to drop it here, even though it is our only green source. Opponent goes to 6. Rag. Caracas would be pretty nice here. Second Thalia. Alright. Let's try to deal with this. I could potentially go with Mum, but I think this is okay. Nice. Alright. Now just 1 turn, no Wasteland. I think, yeah, if I was considering Pride Mage, I would definitely consider Outland Liberator on top, just because it does flip into the ability to take out artifacts or enchantments on attack, which is really nice against decks like lands where they have like Mazavith. The only small advantage of Plague. Oh, nice. I think here it's just going to be Wasteland into Mum. Another Thalia is pretty good, though. They didn't have a Daze last turn either. So I actually kind of feel like just throwing out a Thalia here, because the upside is so huge. But yeah, one of the only upsides of Qasali Pride Mage is that it can attack into a Plague Engineer, whereas a Outland Liberator most likely will never be able to, because it'll be a 1/1 as it's a human. But yeah, I do like Knight that the life gain is there, because it definitely comes up more relevant than you would think for being 4 life, which is kind of nice. But if I saw Outland Liberator in a current list, I would definitely not sort of bat an eye. It is a really good value card. Next time we have the potential of going double Wasteland and Mum. Wow. Huh. Hey Vic, hope you're well. I think if my opponent wants to get back into this game, then you double fetch land. Just play around the Wasteland a little bit, and then cast like a Ponder or something. Even Gutshot isn't great here, because it means they have to fetch for a land first. I guess maybe Wasteland into Gutshot wouldn't be the worst, because It's not really the land that I want to be wastelanding. Oof. Right on time. Play Noble attack for 3. Just gonna go for a Savannah here. Means we can't be taken off white, which is really nice by 1 wasteland. And I don't think our opponent's in a great position either to start wastelanding our sources anyway. And obviously with no lands out, they can't do anything because Thalia makes all their non-creature spells like Force of Will or Gutshot cost an extra 1. Yeah, always nice to be in a good position against Delver. I mean, Wasteland into... Thalia into Wasteland just so strong when they don't have the backup lands. And it can be tough because they obviously have a stacked hand, just don't have the mana to cast it. Yeah. You love to see it. Alright. I think the new card would have been really good there. The new Blazing Volley that also deals damage to Planeswalkers was probably their best out. Having the Mum online is a little bit rough because we get to save the Mum, then untap and just play another Thalia. So even that is tough, but I assume with, you know, 7 cards in hand, they would have had a Force or Daze for the Thalia. So I think, yeah, getting some sort of sweeper effect like that in would have been pretty strong. But yeah, pretty happy to take that. Hope you're all well. Hope you're having a great week. It's pretty wet here, which is great streaming weather, which is nice, but only, what, 29 days left of 2021. Crazy. Up against Kabu. A little bit awkward with these 2 lands, so I'm actually going to mulligan this. I don't mind this. Probably bottoming the Cradle. Lead on Noble. 1. What season is it? It is currently spring, moving into summer. If not summer already. It's getting close to summer at least. Yeah, let's drop the Cradle. Island. Just gonna get a Savannah here. Saga. Oh, that's actually pretty good for us with this Knight of Autumn in hand. Grindstone. Okay. Interesting. I think here I just try to take out the Saga. I am going to get a Scrubland here. Actually, no, I'll get a... Yeah, I'll get a Scrubland because it means that we could go like Mum Mum Hold Up Sword. opponent would need like another Saga's pretty good. Sai's okay because we have the sword. But Sai is pretty annoying. Okay. I like hitting the Sai here first. And then I don't mind trading the Thopters if they want to. No trade. I'm going to play the Thalia because I think it's a bit more taxing. Mums can always come online later. At least Saga can't get Painter. Oof. So many cards. Definitely a matchup where I like having the extra Force of Vigor instead of the Outland Liberator. I guess I would be happy to attack with both here. Definitely. Oh, no, they can actually make... No, they can't make a dude. Yeah. Oof. Now this is going to be tough. I don't think we have an out. I don't think we have an out. This is interesting. I like a lot of this stuff. I like the forces, of course. Plagues are interesting, but I don't think good enough, but we'll see. I can definitely see myself dropping down on the mums. Ooze, I don't mind as just like a Emery target for Green Suns. Cradle can allow us to be really, really aggressive. Libraries I could see going. Thalias are fine, especially against their 0 drops, but I could see myself dropping down. I haven't run Seeds of Innocence, but I have seen that card before, which I think I should definitely look at, even for Green-White Maverick. Destroy all artifacts that can't be regenerated. The control of each of those artifacts gains life equals its mana value. Yeah, really good card. Especially in this current metagame. Go down and... I'm going to kind of run Plagues as my mums in a way. Endurance is pretty good. Maybe Endurance is just better than Knights, like having a Knight. I guess Knight does find Wasteland. Ramanap's still pretty good, but a little bit slow. Maybe just the 2 Plagues. 2 Plagues, 2 Endurance. Yeah, pretty happy with this. This is fine. The question is this enough? I think this is enough to force. Because then I get to untap and play Thalia, which really taxes them. So now all the 0 drops, of course, cost 1. Mox Diamonds cost 1. Painter's okay. We have the Prismatic Ending for it, which is nice. sure. There's actually a world here where I actually want to get Dried Arbor in my end step. But not now. Sadly, with Thalia down, I can't Green Suns for Oof here, but that would have been really nice. I can next turn, which is good. Just hope they don't have like Painter and then the ability to do this. I guess I could just have Painter here and then Grindstone back. Use it. Always scary. This deck's really scary. Needle. Still pretty good. Probably just naming Knight. Okay. Doorcast. Come on, land. Come on, land. Yes! Haha! Nice. It does, to be fair, only turn off this seat, but really nice to have. Hey, Mighty Man. Welcome. Oh, that's nice. Is there anything I have to be scared of at instant speed? I don't think there is. I think I can just attack with everything here. Okay. Well, I wasn't gonna play around Resculpt. That's fair. They do have to chump though with the Emery, which is nice. I can't use these two lands, which is nice. Bauble's fine. Painter is going to be fine. Now we can just cast the Endurance and have all the attackers we need. Yeah, nice. Okay. Interesting. Yeah, that's an interesting question, Captain. Playing less than 4 Knights. I've definitely done it in the past, only because I feel like the matchups where Knight is really strong, Maverick already has a pretty good game against. So by making use of that one extra slot for something like a Grist, which also makes like maybe like a control matchup a bit better by having like a separate kind of element to the game. I don't mind it. You lose like small percentage points, so I definitely wouldn't, you know, be too unhappy to play a deck with only 3 Knights. Okay. Let's have a good think. Maybe the extra endurance is good. Maybe the extra endurance is better than the knight. Especially seeing they brought in Needle. I'm going to assume in the blind, they probably named Knight with Needle. Maybe Wasteland, but probably Knight. So I think just having the one Knight, but 5 copies with Green Suns is pretty nice. Really want to see a Force of Vigor in my opening hand. No Force of Vigor, but we do have a Deafening Silence, which is really good. So actually I'm going to keep this. Savannah Deafening Silence means next turn we can Wasteland and Noble Hierarch. Hey Mozza. This is the new view for just now. The green screen is down. The question here is... I think I do Wasteland the Saga. Yeah. Just because 2 constructs is a little bit much. Also means next turn we have Endurance open, which is pretty nice. Oh, I could just Green Suns for Oof here. I think that's actually pretty strong. I think that's what I want to do, because it turns off the seat and the LED. Interesting, they floated. I think I still go for the Oof. I could try to go for something else, but I think just getting Oof here is fine. Seeing what they wanted with the mana. That's fine. We need to draw some removal here, so I kind of feel like I have to use the Canopy. Ramanap. Interesting. I am safe from Painter because I have the Endurance, that's correct. So I'm pretty sure I can do the Endurance in my upkeep. Okay, down to 2 cards. Hey, Jerry. Welcome. I'm just going to take this. Come on, Force of Vigor. Knight. I think here it's just Ramanap, get back Wasteland, Wasteland the Saga. But then they get 2 more 6/6s, which is pretty brutal. might just be Knight. Then hold up Endurance. The question is, do I attack? If I attack, I could put them down to 8. They swing back with 7 7s. No, I think I hold. Saga just so strong here. Yeah. Not great. I mean, I can triple block this one to kill it, but then I can still take, like, I block the Noble. Yeah, I don't think there's an out, unfortunately. I think Seeds of Innocence is probably a good card to lean towards instead of the Force of Vigors. Because Force hitting 2 just isn't enough against that deck. Really need to find, yeah, find those seeds. But yeah, tough one for Maverick to deal with. A little bit too go wide. And Deafening Silence there wasn't really what the game lined up to be about. It was more just creatures instead of non-creature spells. Pernicious Deed is another cool one. I do like that. C. Carlson. Okay. Thoughtseize could have been pretty strong as well. This hand's fine. A little bit mana heavy, but having the 3 fetches is quite nice. One could be a Dried Arbor. Get turn 1 Noble, turn 2 Thalia and Mum. Just gonna go for basics here. Tundra. Oh, I would love to see that. That's more than fine. Thank you. Another land isn't great, but that is magic sometimes. Definitely not thinking of days when I see the Tundra, so it's really just force that is the concern here. Okay. Teferi, perhaps? Narset. Okay. Prismatic Ending. Wasteland's not the worst because I can take them off white and then play up both my creatures. This also can't find a land. They haven't pondered or brainstormed yet, so okay, well, there we go. I assume that's going to be their white source. The other thought was not caring about Wasteland, playing Windswept Heath, so that even if they Prismatic Ending the Mum, then we could end step Dried Arbor, attack the Narset, and actually take it off the board. Yikes. Mentor's pretty good. I'm going to get Dried Arbor out of the deck though. In case we draw into a removal spell for the Monastery Mentor, we can then take the Narset off the board. Doesn't do it. Don't really want to play the Night Out as just a 4/3 either. Sadly, I think just a little bit too slow with this hand. It was definitely a hand where I just didn't want to draw an extra land, and just drawing the extra 2 and the bird is pretty tough. Really wanted to draw into like a knight, or maybe like a few wastelands with that Thalia. But yeah, just like the 8 cast matchup, this one can be tough if they start really letting this Mentor go wide. That's fine. Interesting they're even sorting the bird. Yeah. That's all good. Like, Questing Beast here would be sweet. Thalia not the greatest, especially with the Caracas. Alright. I like the chokes. I like the extra ending. I don't mind the Teeg. And the Plague's actually not the worst because of Mentor. Cradle can come out. Some number of Mana Dogs can definitely come out. I might not bring in all Plagues. I don't mind dropping down on Knights in this matchup. Collector Oof can come out. There we go. That's all pretty solid. Endurance isn't the worst either. It's just like a flash creature. Just ordered 2 Seeds of Innocence. Nice. Due to the Caracas, I'll go down on 1 Thalia and just bring in 1 Endurance to go up to 2 Endurance in total. Not really where I want to be. Sylvan Library would be sweet. This is a 1-lander. Yikes. White Cradle without Hexdrinker. I think it still allows some pretty explosive starts with Green Suns, which is nice. And also things like Scavenging Ooze isn't too bad either. Hey, Xao. I can't keep a 1-lander. Okay, this is actually a pretty good one. Because we have the library as well. We don't have a white source. But pretty happy to play like probably... It's probably the Endurance I put back. The tough thing here is that Prismatic Ending is such a good answer to Sylvan Library, and so is Narset. I'll make some game actions, but this isn't looking too great. Getting a tab would be really nice. Getting a tab was definitely one of the cards that I always wanted. I remember seeing it at the first GP I played at. $300, and I was like, who's gonna pay $300 for a card? And look at it now. If I draw a white source, I think I play Thalia, because I'd rather see... Well, it's not what I really want, but... I'd rather see like a Prismatic Ending get thrown at the Thalia instead. But this is where things can get a little bit out of hand, with not drawing a white source next turn. Or even a land. Yeah. I think you just have to keep my opponent off 3 mana. The Wasteland's not doing too much for me anyway. Just don't play Caracas. Okay. Yep. Okay. Oh. They do have the Teferi, but might as well see. No. Okay. Alright. That game is over. Cool, 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 cool. Definitely some rough keeps. Maybe if the white source is there for the Thalia turn 2, and we can try to get the Sylvan Library down, then that's definitely a way to come back, but going down to 5 against a control deck of Maverick is a tough time. Tough time to say the least. Rough. Good start, but just, yeah, definitely feeling like just not that, like, brokenness of Legacy is definitely showing. On the play, which is nice. I will keep this. It does have the Dried Arbor in the opening, but if we draw a land, we then have access to some pretty good turn 2s. I don't think I'd consider taking out a Zenith, but just because of their power of scale and how they can be anything from, you know, a mana accelerant to finding Teeg. And usually, if Teeg's on the board, it's doing a lot more for you shutting down your opponent's cards than it is for shutting down your own cards. Yikes. I'd actually love to see this get forced. I don't really need the mana, but I'm going to go for birds here because it gives me access to black mana. Also means we could Questing Beast potentially next turn. I get the feeling this is going to be like Ant or maybe Doomsday. Badlands. I think we just go for Collector Oof here. And then attack with the Dried Arbor. And next turn we can play Questing Beast and just start attacking I've seen a little bit of Grixis as well, but I feel like Grixis would do more than just Brainstorm before this turn. Drop. Attacking like this also means I can play the knight and then hold up swords. So if they want to like tendrils me, we can maybe stay alive by swordsing our own creature. Yeah, surely would see removal by now if it was something else. But I definitely get the feeling this is going to be, yeah, Tess or Ant or probably Ant. Deafening Silences, Prismatic Endings, Gaddock Teeg. I like the Plagues. I actually don't mind like everything. Let's take out the swords. Take out Ramanap. Probably take out the libraries. Just a little bit too slow. And like I'm definitely not casting them on turn 2. Probably don't need the forces. The chokes are meh. Endurances are kind of meh. That's 62. Mums are fine. Thalia's fine. Grist can probably come out, let's be honest. Probably Beast. It could just be a Knight as well. 2 Knights, maybe like 1 Force is okay. I don't mind just having interaction, which is nice. So like Deafening Silence is definitely what I want in my opening hand. Or maybe a Thalia, but even then it's pretty slow. Pretty happy to mulligan in this matchup to probably 5 to try to find Deafening Silence. It's a pretty amazing hand, so I'll probably keep this. Just have to kind of hope they don't go off turn 1 or have some sort of hand disruption. But Deafening Silence into Thalia into like Plague's pretty cool. That is a very cool Bob Ross emote. I like that a lot. See what the Ponder does. Hey Red, nice Knight. Chose to shuffle, okay. I kind of want a Wasteland here, but I am just going to go for the classic Deafening Silence. And we will get a Savannah, because then that at least can cast the Green Suns as well. Sure. Interesting, they must have a fetch. Yeah. And they're going to fetch now? What are they going to do with the mana? Nothing, just play around something. I don't mind playing Wasteland here, because drawing into another Wasteland means next time we could double Wasteland, play Mum. This is more than fine. Taiga. Noble. That's pretty good as well. Probably just going to take them off blue here. Nothing. Oof. Okay. Attack for 3 puts him to 13. I could play the Knight of Autumn out, but I kind of want to hold up the Force of Vigor. We don't have black mana for the Plague. I could Green Suns for Birds of Paradise, but that taps us off the Force as well. I can't Green Suns for more than a Mana Dork because of Thalia. I do want to increase my clock though. I think I will potentially play the Knight out. And then even attacking with the Mum, if I really wanted to, we could put him on a 2-turn clock. Get Arbor. Arbor doesn't do too much. Doesn't get us a black source either. But with Deafening Silence on the board, I don't see them getting to like empty the Orange territory anyway. I think this is fine. Let's really apply pressure. LED, sure. Scrib. Okay. That's actually really nice. Because now we can attack with the Mum and also untap it. Yeah, this looks really good because now we can upkeep, force the LED, pitching the Green Suns, which I'm more than happy to do. And then we have Scrib Ranger to untap the Mum if they try to like kill something. Massacre is a bit of an issue, but actually, that's actually pretty interesting. To play around Massacre, I could play Scrib Ranger here, return the Savannah so we no longer have a plane, so they can't cast Massacre for free. Which is actually what I'm going to do. Because I can only assume it's either Massacre or a 3-mana spell like Abrupt Decay to get rid of the Thalia. Maybe something like Echoing Truth or Vapor Snag, but they have no blue mana out, so I think Scrib Return Savannah here is just kind of a lock. Yeah, nice. Alright, well, we can finish, hopefully, 3-2. But thanks to you all for coming and watching. It's good to be back streaming. It's good to be playing Maverick. Maybe not in its best position, but as well, it's really fun. It's really enjoyable. And that is what Magic is all about, so if I'm happy, if you're happy, I'm happy. But yeah, 8 cast. Need to get those Seed of Innocence. 100%. I wish they exiled. I guess that would be a little bit too good. Maybe if it was triple green. Exile all artifacts that you don't control. Draw 2 cards. Gain 4 life. There we go. I can design good cards. Played a good mix at X today as well, which is nice to see. Ragavan isn't kind of everywhere, which is nice. Blue-red Delver. 8 cast. Jeskai Control, I'll say. Jeskai Mentor. And then Ant. One-way Garden. 4-color Zenith. Interesting. Ooh. Alright, team. Let me know what you think of this hand. I'm going to the bathroom. I'll come back to your comments. I like this as well. I like it as well. Pretty happy just to go for a Savannah into Noble Hierarch. Yeah, actually getting Grist is really nice as well, because a lot of these mana dorks after a little while are going to be pretty, no real need for them. Opponent goes to 6. Abundant Growth. Alright. Wasteland. I feel a prismatic ending coming on. Another growth. Ooh. Alright, I guess we're just beasting. Let's be honest. Hey, Mark. A huge thank you for the raid. I hope you're doing well. How did you go with Mav? I can just attack with Questing Beast here for 6 because it's going to be the same with Exalted anyway. Nice. Not great, but I had fun. Nice. That's all you want. Knight of Autumn's fine. As a 4-3? Gain 4? What are we doing? 4-3. I probably don't mind, like, Wasteland, Green Suns for Grist. Probably trade a Noble with Knight and then just attack for 6 again. Maybe the Bird, because I want to get this 6 through. Actually, no, I can attack with both creatures anyway, so that's going to be fine. So let's go 1, 2, 3, 4, and then pay Thalia attacks 5. No. Yeah. And I think that's better than playing the Mum out. Definitely interesting. I could also Wasteland and then hit an Abundant Growth with a Knight of Autumn and just attack for 6. What do I want to do? Let's have a quick look. I definitely like taking them off the Wasteland. Puts them back down. Wish for Second Exalted. That's pretty interesting. But then it's just another Noble Hierarch. I think I will attack first and see what they do. Because I feel like if they're just... I guess they can't chump if they gain 4 life because it's still a 2-power creature. Wow, nothing? Interesting. I think it is just Grist. I could go for a Knight, but I think Grist is fine here. I can't like keep them off Plague Engineer because of the double abundant growth anyway, so I might as well just go for Grist. And then sack a Noble to hit the Knight. Yeah, nice. Okay, 4 color. 4 color. 4 color Yorion. I do like the ending. It's a pretty easy one. I don't like the oof. It's a pretty easy switch. Wasteland isn't the greatest in this matchup. So I could see like a Knight for something else. Force of Vigor is actually pretty nice, especially for back to basics, Sylvan Library, things like that. Yeah, Questing Beast there was sweet. Really good. I'm going to go down on a Thalia, especially on the draw. And then just 1 Noble Hierarch. I think that's fair. Plague's definitely interesting for things like Ice Fang. Could potentially see like 2 Knight, 2 Plague. I like that. Choke is interesting, but I feel like they can get around Choke pretty well. Unless I really aggressively go after the, this is a really nice hand. Unless I really aggressively go after Abundant Growth. Huh, okay. Nice. I think here I'm just going to start on the Forest because I don't want to open myself up to Wasteland, and I don't have to get like Knight of the Reliquary to a 4/4 because this isn't a bulk game, so pretty happy with Forest into Bird as well. Could see like Teferi bounce here. That'd be a little bit annoying. Uro's okay. Field. Right. Alright. Scrib. Untap. Return. Play. Play. Nice. I believe field is 7 lands. Yeah. It's pretty good. Prismatic Ending, Scrib Ranger. Take out the bird. Okay. The Natural Knight of Autumn was brutal. Really wanted that Sylvan Library. With the field, I think I should probably bring back in, if there is a third game, the knights. Pretty good. A little bit slow. Unfortunately, I think this Uro and field are going to take over the game. And looking at this mana base as well, I think the choke is reasonable. Yeah, and probably the extra endurances as well, seeing the Uro. Grist here, just not good enough. Alright. Chokes, endurances, don't bother about the forces, don't bother about the plagues, bother about the knights, Thalia, Cradle, interesting one. Might drop down one knight, I think that's actually pretty good. The reason that I like Plague is things like Ice Fang and Birds. You can destroy something and then make them have to actually use another card to take out the Plague. One lander, but we're going to keep it. Yeah, I think it's just too good not to. I think it's just too good not to. Like, turn 2 library here is just so good if it sticks. Oh my gosh, yes. If we can get a land here, no, but that's okay. Oh, okay. Well, I'm definitely paying no matter what here. Oh. I think it's just going to be Swords on Bird, and then Green Suns for another Mana Dork. Probably my own bird. Back to basics here would be pretty bad. I guess we could get rid of it, thankfully. I'd probably rather see Teferi. But if they get a basic plains here, I definitely think it's back to basics. They get a Tundra. Okay. Interesting in the face of Wasteland as well. Oh, that's fine. I guess if we draw Cradle here, it's pretty broken, because then we get to both Choke and Sylvan Library. Or just a land does it, actually. I guess we... No, sorry, Choke and Prismatic Ending. And I think I'll start with... Nice. I think I'll start with the ending. Because maybe they force this, thinking that if the library sticks, then they get to like recoup that card loss. So they force... No. Oh. Nice. Green Suns is fine. Thalia is pretty strong. I kind of want to get a land back. I don't mind Ramanap get back fetch. We do have the endurance though to take out the Ice Fang. Not the greatest trade, but there's also a world where I just don't even need that, so. Could potentially go down to 5, pay for the Thalia. I don't mind that. Yeah. Go down to 4. I don't mind the extra forest. And then next turn we can make sure this board state doesn't get too wide. Nice. They just didn't want to play. Well, we finish off 3-2, which isn't too bad. Getting up against Band Control, Blue-Red Delver, Ant, down against 8-cast Jeskai Mentor. Deck was pretty cool. Didn't really play enough to have any real feedback, but I think I'll move back to green-white for a bit and just like start from the basics. Because I do like the thought of playing a pretty streamlined mana base with some more targets in like Ghost Quarter, which I think is pretty good against these snow decks that are running Abundant Growth, good against these like green-white Maverick decks, or green-white Depths decks, and also Cloud Post that's running Pithing Needle. And then like Tower of the Magistrate seems pretty fun to play around with, Maze of Ith seems pretty fun to play around with, Elvish Reclaimer and Maverick seems pretty fun to play around with, so that would all be pretty cool. Yeah, overall, not too bad. Yorion Maverick's interesting. I did see someone the other day playing around with a list that you'd have to find a bit of value for it. But I'm sure there's something there you could play around with. I think this was it. Yeah. So this was an interesting one. I actually got a 5-0 league, so it looks to be playing like just a bigger creature base, obviously, with things like Primetime, Titania, Solitudes in the main deck, Skyclaves, even Mind Sensor, A lot of cards that have seen like a bit of play here and there that have thrown it in, and then also have a interesting a saga kind of strategy as well, which is pretty sweet. Wouldn't mind playing around with it. Seems pretty cool. And you do get some value off Yorion with a few ETB effects, which is cool. But yeah, Lantern of the Lost I've never seen before, which they're playing over the other one that usually gets seen. And I'm totally blanking on the name. But yeah, I think there's definitely a bit of room to play around with the Yorion, but I don't think you get the value off it like you do in something like Death and Taxes that has a lot more ETB effects and, you know, resetting Batterskull and Caldra and things like that. So yeah, really cool to see. Really cool to see. I am done, but I might be back tomorrow. Make it 3 days in a row. Why not? I believe that 90s MTG is currently streaming, which is really cool because I haven't had the chance to raid them in a while. But if you are big fans of paper Eternal Magic, you should definitely check out 90s MTG. A huge thank you once again. This will be on YouTube soon, which you can find here. You can find, of course, me on Twitter as well. All the best. Enjoy your weeks ahead.